Oh, hello, everyone. Hope everybody's having a fantastic evening or afternoon, wherever you are listening or watching. This is the Dr. Ini Adesonia show, and I am Ini Adesonia. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been watching, who's been commenting, who's been contributing. Ideas. I appreciate that, and I'm really happy to be here this evening over here, I guess, or whatever time it is where you are. It's been a very exciting time, and we're here again for another exciting topic. All right, so today, I'm going to talk about business plans. Business plans. Now, you might have heard it, and the topic is actually very, very important for either you're a startup or you're already existing. Now, when you already have an existing business, right? You've been doing this on your own, and you just decide, you know what, I want to get people to be part of this. It could be for several reasons. We're going to go through some whys. Why do you need a business plan? But startups just wanted to get it out there that is not only for startups, okay? It's also for people that are already existing, businesses that are already existing, but want some kind of change, all right? Now, what is really a business plan? Well, business plan is where you present generally your ideas to others for several reasons, right? Because you don't really need a business plan if it's you, yourself, and I. Should I say you, yourself, or me, myself, and I? Or you know what, you get the picture. So if it's only about you really don't need a business plan. But now, assuming that, okay, now you want to get investors, right? You come to somebody and say, right, I want to invest. I want to invest in your company. Somebody comes to me and said, you know what, can you invest in my company? I would say, okay, what is your company all about? Why should I invest? So investors want to see a business plan. All right. So it's like a pitch. People go to all these shows that they actually give money to businesses, and they ask you, what is your business about? This is something like that, but it's more in-depth, because usually when you give a pitch, it's a couple of minutes. But business plans, it could be simple and complex. This simple business plan or a complex business plan. Usually, there's some specific criteria that should be in a business plan, whether it's a simple business plan or a complex business plan. Okay. And then another reason you might need this business plan is to get specific talent, somebody that has some kind of skill, all right? Some kind of skill, all right? So that's another reason, right? That, you might want to attract, maybe you are into IT, or your business is really starting an IT, maybe software, kind of software. You had the idea, but you don't know how to implement it. You get a software designer, right? Like if I want to get a software out there, I would like maybe to get an accounting software out there, but I know what I want in the software, but I need someone that actually can do the work. So I might choose, if I don't choose to bring someone that is an outside, like an outsourced person, I might want someone to be part of the business, right? And then, I mentioned that whether with you might not really need a business plan, but, when you reflect, if your business is not really doing well, let's say, you might want a business plan. If you want to really, maybe you're not happy at where you are, you want to see some detailed analysis, you might want a business plan. But you don't really, usually when people for themselves, they don't really stress themselves with a business plan. It's usually when they want to bring outsiders into the company, right? That's when business plans, become necessary, right? Because I assure you, if you wanted to, or if you want to invest in a company, you would say, what's going on? What's happening? Where's the plan? What's your plan? People don't just walk up to people and say, please bring money. Well, maybe it's your family members, maybe, but I know some family members that will say, yeah, I want to know what this is all about. I have the money to give you, but I need to know what this is all about. Okay. So that's really the reason why people do, or have a business plan where people write a business plan. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about some, maybe like some, maybe should I say, I'm not going to make it very complex, maybe 7 or 8 parts of the business plan. Okay, the very first part is the executive summary. What is the executive summary? Just like the name, the summary. Look at what the summary, what the word summary, the word summary means, just a summary of everything. So the executive summary actually makes people want to read your business plan. The summary, actually, executive summary summarizes what is in the business plan, highlights what's in the business plan. It makes it, it creates a kind of interest. I want to know more, right? A summary of maybe, the other sections, but the details will be in the business plan, but it's just a summary. And so it's very important for you to get an executive summary that is very, very rich. When I say rich, I mean that it's just not just going all over the place, right? It's specific points that will actually make it attractive. It's okay, I don't know what's happening in this business plan. So that is the very first part of a business plan, an executive summary that gives everything. Oh, this is what the business plan is all about. Okay, that's the first step. That is the first summary. The first part, which is the executive summary. All right, so that's part one. Okay, what is the everything about? We're going to go through what is everything. Everything. What I'm saying, everything. I'm putting everything in quotes because it's a lot, right? Under each category. So you're not going to write, every single thing in the category, but highlights. And the highlights, not all the highlights, but certain highlights that will attract people. So, okay, this is interesting. Let me turn the page. Okay. So the next aspect, or the next section of the business plan, is the company description, right? You want to write about what's the name of the, what is the who are the employees, who are the directors, who's going to be who's going to be the director, who are the key employees, what is the structure? Is it an LLP? Is it a what is it, general partnership? What is the structure of the company? Who owns? What is the who owns the company, right? If you are a small business owner, a medium enterprise, you might be the only owner. You might have a partner already, but it's very important for you to actually explain that. We're going to go through the management team, but generally, I talked about key employees. Who is the main person there? I mentioned a software company, that maybe somebody that is in the field of accounting wants to establish a software company. I would need a software engineer. I have the ideas, the accounting ideas, how I want it to look, but I would need those. I would need the software person to actually implement those ideas. Now, that software person, right? That software person would generally be a key employee, right? Because that is what's needed for that company to move forward, right? To do, what it's supposed to do, right? Produce a software for the accounting field. I'm just giving an example. All right. So that is what you have to explain. What is the company? What is this company? What is the name? What is it all about? What is your goal? Within just the company, what is it? What is the company? What is the company's name, and everything pertaining to the name, the address, the structure, the owners, just what that company is, what is all about when it comes to the name, right? And description and things like that. Okay. So now that is point 2, right? Now, the third point is, what is it that you're providing? What is it? What kind of, are you producing products, or are you providing services? What is it that you're providing? All right. What is it that you're providing? If it's products, what are the products? What are the products? Specifics, right? A business plan needs specifics. Now, remember, this is not about you. It's about somebody out there that says that you're trying to approach, that will say, I'm interested in that. Yes. That's what I've been wanting to do. Some people are even, I know some investors might, there are some investors that might actually, or that usually, not all, some might say, you know what, I want to invest in green products like, renewable energy and renewable products like that. And that's something that you want to emphasize. You want to write it there. No, oh, I have a product, so I'm selling Pampers or something like that. No, you're selling things that are maybe green Pampers, things that are, renewable items, things that are, not used from, things that are renewable, like from green, you know what I mean? Like things that are not produced, that are just produced in a very organic way. So not just Pampers, for example, you just put it out there what exactly you're producing. So somebody says, oh yeah, I'm really interested in this. This is something that I would like because it's something um that that people, I mean, that I am interested in as an investor, right? But you have to really explain them services. What are you doing? What kind of service are you providing? Right? These things must be clear in the business plan. So no matter, some people actually say this is a simple business plan. No matter how simple the business plan is, there's some specifics that must be in that business plan. Right? I hope we're on the same page with that. You have to be specific because there are court cases that have happened because of someone not being specific. They end up in court because there was no disclosure. Okay, the disclosure was there, but it was not proper, right? So you want to make sure, right, that everything. I mean, after all this, after we go through everything, definitely, an attorney would be involved at the end of the day with contracts and everything like that. But it's also important that there is actually transparency. So products, services, right? Because if an investor invests in something that they don't believe in, because you don't actually you're not actually transparent, that would be an issue down the line. So you don't want that to happen. So again, the next point, which is the third point, is what products and services. Remember, we talked about executive summary, talked about the company, the description, and now this is the product and services. Whatever you want to give, you want to sell. It could be product and services. It could be product or services. Doesn't matter, but just make sure you state it there. Okay. Now the next point, right? The fourth point is market analysis, right? You have to have a market analysis. Why would you think that your product is better than the rest? Why? You're saying it, for example, Pampers. Okay, there are many Pampers out there. Why am I going to, why would I invest in you? Or why would I come to work for your company when there's so many Pampers there out there, right? So we will say that for market analysis, right, you would first of all talk about, of course, who's your target market? Who are you looking at as a target market? If we talk about Pampers, we're looking at moms, right? Moms, right? That's, moms, dads with young kids, right? You're talking about Pampers, you're talking about, remember, we're looking at, what is it that the target market, remember? So yeah, young, people that have young little babies, right? You've talked about if you sell products like let's see, we're talking about Pampers. Let's say in addition, let's say you sell things like makeup. Your product is makeup, right? Yes, you know your target market. Who are those that are going to buy your makeup, right? You have your target market, right? So just generally things like that, you find out what is your target market, right? Is very important. That is one thing about market analysis. And then what makes your product stand out? Let's stick to the Pampers I mentioned. Let's go back to that Pampers I mentioned. Why should yours stand out as opposed to the other, right? Why is yours, there's so many Pampers, there's so many kinds of Pampers out there, right? Why would your brand stand out, right? Why would your brand stand out? There are so many, right? So why would your brand stand out as opposed to using this specific brand, right? There are so many. We could have a list of so many kinds of types of Pampers, right? So, why is yours standing out? That's the competitive advantage. You have to know why you're buying this as opposed to other. Why should yours stand out, right? Okay, and why should I invest in yours as opposed to somebody else's? Okay, I want to take a drink. Mm. Oh gosh, this was, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's okay. It happens. So I don't know why I just did like that. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. So, okay. So why? Okay, why are we looking at um this product as opposed to the other product? All right. Why is yours more important, right? Why would yours sell? Okay. And then under this market analysis, we look at what's what. I know that if you go through my um um uh, videos, one of them talked about SWOT analysis, right? SWOT means strength. What is the strength? What is the strength in your product? What is the weakness in your product? What is the threat, right? Right? What are the opportunities, right? Is SWOT is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So that should be listed for your product, okay? What is it, okay? That should be listed for your product. Okay, so when we're looking at market analysis, because again, there's so many products out there, so many. And if an investor or if somebody wants to specialize a specialized talent, right? Someone that is very talented in a specific area wants to join your company, they want to know that, okay, there are so many products like that out there. Why would yours sell? Now, there are some products that actually there are some products that are actually inventions, that okay, nobody has used something like that or has something like that before, but still, market research, would people be open to buy this? This is a new product out there. Will somebody be open to buy this? So market research is very, very important. Softwares, I know that they fix a problem, or software fix a problem. And so, yeah, that might be, you've done your research and say, yeah, my software fixes a problem and this will make, cut man hours, do this, do that, do that. All right. So that's really, really what market research is. Nobody wants to invest in something that will not have an ROI, return on investment. It's not just not just average ROI, good ROI. Now, return on investment usually differs by industry. ROI differs by industry. So it's very important for you to know what your company brings to the table. And that's by market analysis, just to say, okay, oh yes, this is the area. Yes, we know that projection, this is it, but we're going to talk about that under financial plan. But generally, this might be an area. So yeah, generally that if you invest, this particular market brings so and so ROI, right? Percentage, or you know how you calculate ROI. We're not going to go into analysis right now, but just know that anybody that invests their money into anything, they want money. They want a profit. They want gain. They're not investing their money just to sit back there and let their money waste. No, they want money back in their pocket. All right. Okay. So that's why your market analysis is such an important area. I mean everything is important, but again, you have to tell me why, or tell anybody why yours is better than the rest. Okay. And as I said, a business plan is not just only for people that the business plan is not only for people that are startups. People that are in business might say, you know what, I want to get an investor at this time. And I really want to get someone that invests in my business. And they go through this route and they get a business plan. Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Now the next point is the management team. Who is your man? Who is part of who is management? Who is managing this business? Now, what people look out for is they look at qualified people, right? People look out for qualified people that manage a business, right? Someone that could be someone that has done this before, has experience, but there could be several criteria, right? So this is just breaks down who manages the company, who's going to be, who's, if it's a startup, who's going to manage, if it's an existing company, who's actually managing the company. And in managing the company, right, they look at, okay, what is the background of this person, right? It might not necessarily be educational qualification, it might be, but people look at all kinds of things. They look at experience. has this person, achieves a lot? I mean, when it comes to this area, okay, this is a software person, engineer. What has he done? Has the person really been able to do a lot for the company? I mean, has he really had success in the startup? Has he been in the software business for a long time? Or maybe it's not a software engineer, maybe it's just someone that has managed project for some time. So things like that, they want to see what who is in the management team, who is in the management team, because if anybody invests in something, they want to make sure that their investment is managed properly, right? So, of course, I'm not saying that all this, everything on the on the business plan guarantees anything. I'm not saying that, but usually it is a guide that's okay. These people, yeah, management team, yes, they are good. Yeah, I'm comfortable with the people on the management team. And I tell people all the time now, I'm now going to step out of my role as an SME advisor right now, step into the role of an investor. I do believe in due diligence. I believe in due diligence, meaning that if somebody brings something to me and say invest it, and it looks so good. For example, the great management team, I would do my due diligence and say, okay, who are these people in the management team? I will do my due diligence, right? And again, it doesn't have to be someone that's super qualified in school or anything. The person should be able to, it's for me, it should be the person has been there before or has done this before, and has this has their success. There's been a success rate, right? So I, as an investor, I would really look into and what is this this real, is this management team authentic? As an investor. So now, just wanted to tell you that for me, those are my eyes. I'll make sure. And then, of course, where I can't do it on my own, I'll get professionals. Say, okay, this is what somebody said to me. Is it good for me to invest in that, in this company? Right. So people, as an investor, that's what you should do. I mean, it's not about an emotional thing. Oh, yeah, I feel. Yeah, it's good to feel, but it's also good to do an analysis to make sure that what you're investing in is okay. So I'm going back to the role of an SME advisor now. Okay. Generally, again, when I talk here, when I speak here, it's generally for information and educational purposes. This is not to say, oh, yeah, this is, this is strict. No, it's just a guide to just give you information that this is the way that, that you should actually set up when it comes to a business plan. And this covers anything I say on this video, on this, I'm sorry, live show, any show on this channel. Okay. All right. Now, so that is the management team. All right. We talked about making sure that you look at, you're putting down what your management team, who they are and what they do. All right. Now, the next point, or the next area you have to mention in your business plan is the operational plan. Okay. When I talk about operational plan, I'm mentioning when I'm mentioning the operational plan, I'm looking at things like what kind of equipment do you need? What kind of items, like, yeah, we're talking about location. I know there's an address. Do you need a warehouse? What do you actually need for the operations of that business, right? Do you need to buy specific equipment? What do you need? All right. What kind of, just general information on operational plan. Okay. What do you need to make sure inventory, what products, right? Just a general information of what we need, because we're going to go to the financial plan that really talk about the details, but just a general information. Okay. Or we need a warehouse for having for manufacturing items. Now, I mentioned this I've mentioned this several times, but in case you have not watched my other videos, I'll mention this here. um I strongly believe in JIT, just in time inventory, is how you store inventory. JIT, just in time. How do you store? I mean, how do you, because for me, for just in time is a process where inventory, I mean, it's also an item is ordered and then it's produced, right? So there might be some lead time, I'm not saying that maybe you should not keep an inventory here and there, but and of course it depends on what you produce, because I know that just in time actually saves a lot of money when it comes to storage, right? Just ordering, making inventory, buying, and getting inventory without actually having someone to buy it. So it's very important for you to know um, what's needed for that business. Okay, we'll talk about operations now. All right. Now the next point, which is the seventh point, is the financial plan. The financial plan shows how well your company has done and what is going to do in the future. Usually it's about 3 to 5 years projections. Now, if you're already an existing company, right, you can, you have a profit and loss, right? Profit and loss, and then additional projections. If you're not, if you're a startup, you will not have a profit and loss at that time because you're a startup, but you have projections. Now, when you're projecting, right, try to be very close to actual. I mean, if you're a startup, I mean, be very conservative. It's better for you to say, oh, I thought I was going to make maybe 500,000 or 1 million the first year, but I'm actually making 2 million now. I mean, because of being conservative, right? So you have to just try to be conservative, and of course justify your projections. Some people say, oh, by this time next year I'll have 5% increase, 10% increase. How did you get to 5% increase? Why is it 5%? Why is it 10%? Why is it 15? Why did you say 15%? Why did you say 10%? You have to justify that projection, all right? There's nothing wrong with projecting, but let your projection be realistic. Don't tell me that, oh, you're going to do, I'm going to have, maybe this month, let's say projection month to month. Let's say this month you're having sales of 200,000. Next month you're having 1 million sales. How was that possible? How is that possible? I'm not saying it's not possible, but justify it. Oh, we're going out this month. We're just starting, but the next 6 months or so, we're going to be in every state marketing. Yes, then that to me, maybe you might not make the 1 million the next month, but maybe tell me 6 months projection. To me, yes, that could explain why you're projecting maybe 100% increase or 50, whatever increase you want to project. But make sure what they are, everything you're putting in your financial plan. It doesn't have to be exact. It could be, I mean, I'm not talking about those that already have a business that is existing, but it should be close, an estimate that makes sense, that's realistic. All right. All right. So just those are the seven, but the eighth one is just appendicitis. I said appendicitis. Sorry, no appendicitis. Appendices, okay, exhibits, okay, because you have to explain, you have to have support, okay, especially now when you tell me that, oh, there's the ROI in this industry is maybe 5%, 3%. I want to see support for that, so that would be in the appendices, right? And then exhibits will tell me that, okay, that the SWOT analysis, one of them, the threat or the strength is that your product is degradable, is not, or is a green product. And then, I mean, you might want to add something there, analysis to show, okay, this is the product, and have an exhibit there to add that, okay, this is why this is the analysis to show that it's biodegradable. All right. And then I want to also, I mean, this is just, again, those are the points, but I want to add here. If you have proprietary information information that you don't want to share, that is just for someone that, okay, when they invest, you'll have to share with them because they are investing in the company. Please sign an NDA with them, non-disclosure agreement, because you don't want someone to say, okay, yeah, I'm not really interested in investing. And the person takes your business plan and runs with it and goes and does it with somebody else. You don't want that. Person picks up your business plan, goes somewhere else and runs with it. This is something that startups can face, but you don't want that to happen, right? Even those that are not even startup, because sometimes people that are already existing businesses, they already have something in place. They have, oh, okay, there's something that they want to add and they want to expand their business. And they came up with this idea, oh, I need someone to invest in it, or I need some specific somebody that knows this area to join me, right? And they take that to the person. Now, if just picture this, there's no NDA, right? You take this, let me go back to that example of a software. You take this to a software engineer, right? You have this idea. As I said, as an accountant, I can't produce, I'm not a software engineer, but I have this idea. Okay, I want to create a software to fix this problem. And I take this to the software engineer. And this person says, oh, you know what? I'm not really interested in it. But because I didn't sign an NDA, what happens is that that person says, okay, and takes the item and just goes and starts doing something with it. Yes, it's possible that you could sue and but I'm not saying that you can't, and I'm not an attorney, but I know that if an NDA is signed from the beginning, the person already knows that it's an NDA. But if it's not signed, there could be all kinds of stuff that could say, you know what, there might be a loophole somewhere. So you don't want to go through that. Okay. So hopefully, again, this is a guide. Hopefully, you know that if you do want to have write a business plan, these are the steps. Now, there are some softwares that actually help you with the process. So you might want to check it out and see, okay, I have the idea, but I want to have a software that will help me to make it easier, the idea to the business plan, templates and things like that. All right. Okay, great. Okay, a lot today, but just felt that it was necessary and to explain that. And because I know that that question is out there. Do I need a business plan? What do I, but just wanted to, state it out there. And of course, as I said, even if it's a simple business plan, make sure there are items that you put in the business plan that must be there. Make sure that those items, specifics, okay, make sure that they're there. Okay. All right. So let's go to our question. Let's go to some of our questions today. All right. So the first question I have, what legal aspects do I need to consider in my business? Okay. I mean, from the beginning, as I mentioned, I don't think this person watched my program, but that's okay. It's very important for you to make sure every agreement and any agreement is actually signed, and also an attorney reviews it. I'm very specific with attorneys reviewing agreements. Some people pick up agreements online. They just pick it up online, and then they do not follow through. They do not follow through with an attorney looking at it. That can be a problem, because at the end of the day, if you just sign things because somebody's, agreements without getting it reviewed, sometimes there are terms there that people, take for granted. So I would say, as much as possible, make sure that an attorney looks at every agreement you sign. All right. And I mean, those are some of the things. I mean, there are many. Then of course, operating agreements, make sure you have agreements between the two parties or the three parties, any party you have the business with, make sure you have any agreement seen by an attorney. Just any agreement, I would say. Generally, that's what I would say. Any agreement. So that's one aspect of it. I mean, generally, yes. I would say any agreement. Okay. All right. And of course, any setup, if you want to purchase items that that have, I mean, it still boils down to agreement. So I think that statement, any agreement, covers so much. So I'll leave it at that. Okay. My business is growing. That's the next question. And I want to employ staff. How do I set wages? Okay, when you say your business is growing, I would say, first of all, kudos, SME, kudos, keep thriving. Awesome. Now, you want to employ staff, how do you set wages? Now, I would say make sure you do a market analysis for wages. That's what I would say. Because it depends on so many factors, right? Make sure you do a market analysis for the wages. Some people outsource HRs, have HR outsource departments where they actually do they help them with that. But if you're an SME that you think you can't afford it, but do a market analysis. It doesn't mean you should not get your contract signed. I still advise you to get an HR person that will actually have a a staff handbook to make sure everything is signed. But in this case, if you don't have one, which I will strongly advise you to have one, have a handbook in the office for everybody to sign. For the wages, please make sure you do market research. Now, market research means that you have to look at, okay, when you look at market research, you won't say, okay, this person is in, for example, Texas, and the person is still, and I'm comparing doing market research with someone in California. Usually, the pay differs. Okay, so make sure you're looking at your locality, looking at the experience, and come up with a figure. Now, it might not be exact. It could be plus or minus, but justified. I always say justify the wages you pay your staff, because it has to be market rates. Now, it's okay to give the person bonuses and things like that, but if the going rate is like 50,000, you're paying the person 120,000. Why is that? Why there's something doesn't look right. Now, if the going rate is 50,000 and you pay the person 60, 70, maybe because they're of experience, but when it's over double, then it raises a question for even me, right? So make sure that that's me that is even, that I'm not an examining body, right? That's why I said even me, I don't work for the Internal Revenue Service. I'm not an attorney, but I would say that that's an issue. Why would you pay this person that amount of money? All right. Now, if you say that, oh, I'm paying this person is based on bonus, based on commission, that's a different ballgame. But for someone that's on salary, then I would say that can come back to bite you, because what is the criteria, right? So make sure that you are setting, you're setting the wages that are market rates. Okay. Now, the next question is that I have been with my supplier for some years, but they are not fulfilling my needs. They are often late with supply. Do I need to change them? Oh my goodness. I know that, okay, let me step back here and not be so strict, but I want to step back. I know that COVID really delayed a lot of things, and I understand that COVID really delayed so many things. So, and I get that. So now, if you're saying that even after COVID, there's no room for assessment, correction, or anything like that, then there's an issue there. I would say that there is an issue there because people stepped up after COVID. COVID, we still see issues here and there with COVID, but people really stepped up and, they said, okay, things are getting better. And they just said, you know what, we're going to do better. But if this is still the case, you have to make money. You have to make money. So I would say that, if someone is not, if you've been with them and they're not fulfilling, maybe there could be something if you have tried to work with them and it's still not working. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's time for you to look for another supplier. You have to make money. There's something called stock out cost. Stock out cost, meaning that somebody comes to your store and does not get that item because you don't have it. You've run out of that item, right? That is cost. That is a cost to you, because that would have been revenue, right? If the person saw that item. So if it's because of your issue of supply, and it's very important for you to get somebody that can actually, take over the supply of your business. I would say that this is, again, at the end of the day, you decide, you make your decision. But generally, I would say, if it's delaying your production of your own side, inventory, and getting your stuff out, that means that you're reducing revenue. I strongly say it again, make sure that you get someone that can, meet up. Now, if your regular supplier, if they change, because I don't know if you've spoken to them, I don't know but if they change, I'm not saying you should leave them, but if they continue to do this, I would say this is business. As much as you want to remain with someone that has been with you for some time, this is a supplier, but if the person is not doing what he or she or what the company needs to do, then no, it's not going to work. I personally will not go move forward with them. Again, you decide on what you need to do, but that's what I would say. The next question is, I'm unable to get my brand out. I'm in the printing business and I'm not getting enough orders. Okay, I know that, and people in the printing business, they have a lot of competitors. They have a lot of competitors. They have so many. But you know what? Um, I would say do get your brand out there. How? I mean, don't. I mean, don't just sit without marketing. Marketing is so important. You are even in the printing business. Market, go to networking meetings, go out, meet people, right? Interact with people, let people know what you do. I mean, sometimes people say, you know what, I want to support my small business friend, and they pick up the phone and call you and say, oh, I need this to be done, I need this to be done, I need this to be done. Right? They pick up the phone and call you. And so I would say that um, please don't give up. But because as you're starting a business and you're into the printing business, and actually any business, but you actually started a business. So I would say that please don't give up. Kudos to you for actually starting. Um, but you need to get out there, let people know what you're doing. I know that I really would love to generally I like I'm patronizing my friends. If I mean my colleagues, my friends, I mean, okay, my friends, because unless you work in my industry, really, because I mean, me, I would say my friends, my fellow business people, small business people, SMEs, I like to patronize them. And I know a lot of people are like that. If they see that, oh, this networking group, this guy is into printing. And let me tell you, referrals are huge. A huge referrals. Oh, you know what? He did it for me. He did it for my business. I'll just give him a call. Referrals, big thing. So let people get to know you, and when they get to know you and you become a household name, anybody that wants to print out anything or have anything like to do with backdrop or people's weddings, things like that, they'll remember you. And also, I would say partner with event planners, because printing, if partner with event planners, I know a lot of things are on the internet right now. Everybody's social media is a big thing, but you know what? I mean, you can't do social media for backdrop, right? You have to get the backdrop or the pictures, right? So you have to get that. You can't do social media for usually the programs. Yes, some people might still choose the programs on their phone, but a lot of people still print out programs for weddings. They do that. There are people that do that. There are some people that still do that. So that's what I wanted to let you know. But keep it going. You know what? You'll be fine. Awesome. Okay, now as I round it, I want to give you some tips. Just came to mind. I mean, tips. Um, so yes, we didn't have a guest today, but we're going to start up with our guest very shortly. But I wanted to give you some tips so that, remember, we're talking about your business thriving. Okay. First tip is that please don't get behind on technology. Don't be slow in technology, because every industry, things keep on changing. Make sure you're on top of things. Make sure you're getting the best technologies to make sure that you're actually more efficient. You reduce costs and you make more money. Okay, that's one thing. And then another thing is that, just like I mentioned in the last question, please continue to network. Let people know about brand, get your brand out there. Let people know about you. All right. These are some tips that, remember, this is a year of intentionality. You have to be intentional to make sure that you do well. Make sure your SME thrives, right? Make sure that it thrives. So you have to do well. All right. So to do well, you have to get out of your comfort zone, right? Investigate technology, look at ways of networking. All right. Okay. Don't be an island. Make sure you're not an island. All right. It was awesome being here today. And then, of course, if you want to send your question or appear on the show, please go to my website, driniadesina.com. One word, driniadesina.com. Okay. I look forward to seeing you next week. All right. Have a good one. Bye for now.